Good morning, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to Money Chat Now. Money Chat Now is a politically charged stock market pre-show giving you the politics behind the biggest moves in the stock market. It is presented with comedic common sense by an expert in financial literacy, and of course, that's me, Larry Steinhouse. Today is Wednesday, March 16th. Hump Day, right? I want to welcome you to the show. We are here live on WWDB Radio 860 AM in Philadelphia, and we are live on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Hey, don't forget, you can find me on Facebook and TikTok and other social media by searching Larry Steinhouse. Also, look up Truth Social. I'm there as well. Just a reminder, if you're watching online, hit that like button, hit that share button, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel as long as it's still there. And like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. And of course, you can comment live during the show on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And please say hi so I know you're watching. Hey, look at that. I got a whole bunch of people already online. I want to say hello to Mick and Ken and Moshe and Jose and Joe. Thanks so much, guys. I totally appreciate you guys. And don't forget to leave your comments. Don't forget to share. And by the way, if you're commenting from a group that's not the Money Chat Now fan page, your name may not show up on my dashboard, so please go to the Money Chat Now page and comment there so I can recognize you. Of course, Money Chat Now is brought to you by Investor Schooling, and you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday, that's tomorrow, by going to investorschooling.com, and there you will learn about real estate investing and stock options trading from those who do it every day. By the way, if you ever want to know about stock options, tomorrow's the day. We're going to be teaching something major about stock options. So if you haven't gone, you need to go. All right, on today's show, we're going to be discussing the future update. We're going to be talking about Biden sending money to Ukraine. We're going to be talking about COVID again. We're going to be talking about gas tax breaks, daylight savings, and, of course, cyber attacks. All right, let's do it. Let's talk about what's going on, man. Yesterday was a hidden surprise. Hey, it actually makes you feel that you have faith in the stock market again. The Dow did so well that it closed up over 600 points. Whoa. So what caused this Christmas in March? Well, I've been saying it all the time, right? Oil prices moved down just like I predicted. If you remember, I predicted last week's show. Remember on Friday we had a caller call and I told him exactly what was going to happen, and sure enough it did. Now we have to wait for the second part of that prediction when gas prices go below $4 and Biden takes credit for it. Just wait for it, wait and see. He didn't take the blame for it going up, but he's going to take credit for it going below $4. You watch. However, the market, not only saw oil prices go down, but the inflation report wasn't as terrible as expected. I say wasn't as terrible because it was terrible, but it wasn't as terrible as expected. I find that hysterical. All right, let's talk about this for a moment. Inflation, as we know, is insane right now. Wall Street has been predicting an inflation rate of, 0.9% for the month, but it came in at 0.09%, I should say, but it came in at 0.08%, and this made investors happy. It made investors happy. First of all, you should understand that what the producer price index really is. The producer price index is simply the rate of rise in prices that manufacturers charge from the previous period. So this means that the producers of goods raised their prices on average about 0.08% from the previous month. This number also included food, energy, and trade services. So when you remove those, it was really only 0.02%, in other words. It appears that gas prices were the leading cause of the PPI increase. Now that makes sense. That's actually something to be happy about, and that's why Wall Street cheered yesterday. And when you take out the gas increases, it appears that the inflation may be slowing down. I know, but what about the crazy gas prices? Well, as you're seeing, the oil per barrel price is dropping, and that means that gas prices should follow very soon. That's of course unless, the greedy oil companies decide they want to milk this a little longer. How can you know, or how do you know if they're going to milk it a little bit longer? Well, here's how you're going to find out. Ask Nancy Pelosi to show you her stock portfolio, and if she sold the oil companies already, gas will go down. If she's still holding them, well, it'll be like when she held Moderna's stock through the scamdemic. So if she's still holding them, it's going to go up. Another thing that may be happening in the market is, of course, my dead zone theory may be right on target here. Listen, if you've been listening to the show, I've been predicting that March 15th would be the end of the downturn and things would start to improve as we head out of the dead zone. Right? So if you don't know what the dead zone is, you need to come to investor schooling and let me explain it to you, because I'm going to teach you this is one of the greatest things ever, is a dead zone. It's one of my best theories I created when I teach about the market. We'll also see what today brings, because we're expecting to hear from the Fed today on their interest rate decisions, and Wall Street and Main Street is predicting a quarter-point rise in interest rate. Anything higher is going to send shockwaves to the market, and it'll be ugly, so hold on to your seatbelt for this announcement today. By the way, an interesting report was also released yesterday about the possibility of a recession this year because of the rise in inflation and the corresponding rise in interest rates. According to a survey by forecasters, whoever they are, the average probability, this is so funny, the average probability of recession is now 33%, up 10% from January's prediction. Don't panic, this is just a few smart people close to finances who make these predictions, and frankly, I'm not worried about a recession this year. Honestly, possibly next year, but definitely not this year. By the way, the average for this survey is usually about 25% anyway, so it's kind of just a survey that's for fun and not for real. It's kind of like me saying there's a 40% chance it's going to rain today. Either way, I'm right. So let's just not worry about it at all. It's not something that you need to worry about. It's kind of silly. All right, let's take a look at the futures and what's going on today. Woohoo! The Dow is up 350 points. The S&P is up almost 51. And the NASDAQ is up 239. Wow, that's pretty awesome. All right, cool. Hey, I want to also say hello to everybody online. A couple of people online just got on. Charles and Dan and Carrie and my wife, and she wants me to say hello to all the listeners on WWDB Radio. Hey, don't forget you guys on WWDB Radio. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. I want to say hello to Victor and, of course, Vern as well. Let's talk about the fact that Biden is spending money to increase in Ukraine. All right, I mentioned last week that the Democrats prepared a bill to keep the government running, another few months to avoid a government shutdown. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. The government would probably do a lot better job if it was shut down, and this country would probably be better off, but sorry, that's just not how it works. The government would always find money, and it'll always find money to continue to operate. You've ever noticed that every single time that they say, we have to avoid a government shutdown, they find money? Whatever. And they'll continue to operate, even if they have to pull it out of your cold, dead hands, which if some of you remember, Bill Clinton did in, I think it was 1993, when he actually took more money from estates that were already settled in the form of a retroactive tax. I don't know if you guys remember that, but that was unbelievable. Dead people, he retaxed dead people. It was bizarre. But anyway, that's not what this is all about. The bill Biden signed does not have retroactive taxes in it. However, it is $13.5 million or $billion in aid going to Ukraine. Yeah, going to Ukraine, right? So that's basically this. I mentioned last week that $14 billion in COVID aid to small businesses and other sufferers of COVID, government overreach, was removed from the bill so that $13.5 billion could be sent to Ukraine as relief. So the bill was signed. I'm kind of wondering, though, does that mean that President Zelensky will now have money to buy more of Hunter Biden's artwork when they rebuild the museums? I don't know, what's that term again? The one that's kind of like the opposite of tit for tat. What the heck's it called? Yeah. Quid pro quo. Yeah, that's right. So in about 15 years, when Ukraine is completely rebuilt and they have a museum with Hunter Biden's paintings in it, if you happen to visit it, remember to say, Larry Steinhouse told me about this, and then make sure you chuckle over it, because it's definitely going to happen. Let's talk about COVID again. All right, apparently the war is almost over. How do I know? It's pretty obvious because I'm seeing more and more articles appearing and reappearing about COVID. All right, check this out. I wrote this yesterday, but I want to say it anyway. I didn't correct it on purpose, and I'm going to talk about it. Did you hear that both Barack Obama and Jill Biden have tested positive for COVID? Huh. What do you think that means? No, not that. Don't go to the gutter with this information. First of all, Obama is clearly in love with Michelle, And Jill Biden has been living with a racist too long and probably, really likes to change the president's diapers. So the fact that Jill Biden and Barack Obama have COVID means that the news needs more meat to talk about COVID. All right, I got to correct this. I just thought it was so funny I had to say it. I got to correct this because the correction is comical too. The correction is that, apparently Joe Biden announced that the First Lady had COVID, right? So what would you think? The First Lady has COVID. I mean Jill, right? It would be Joe Biden has COVID, right? No, it was not that. It was actually the Vice President's husband had COVID. Huh? Anyway, that's what we're living with right now. We're living with a president who doesn't even know who's who. I wonder if he calls Putin Zelensky. Anyway, look, most important, the reason that they're doing this is because they basically need more information, more things to talk about on the news. So now they're going to talk about COVID again because they know we'll no longer have the war to talk about. Have you started to see more masks in the supermarket again? Well, make sure when you do, ask them how ask them how Barack Obama is feeling. We also heard, by the way, I don't know if you heard this, but that China is on lockdown again, as I mentioned yesterday. I also saw other articles resurfacing about the Deltacron variant, which is a joke. I mean, the Deltacron variant came out, they talked about it in January, and now the same articles are resurfacing. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, we need more Republican governors to stop this madness and let everyone go back to calling it the common cold. Speaking of governors, I'm telling you right now, you guys want to register for this event. You want to register for the Freedom and Finances event. We've added Doug Mastriano as another keynote speaker. Doug Mastriano is amazing. Everything about him is amazing. Doug's story is going to mesmerize you, and he also is a leading contender in the governor race for Pennsylvania, and you want to be at this event to shake his hand and wish him luck. Look, you come to the event, you shake his hand, you take a picture of him, he becomes governor, you go, look, I got a picture of me and the governor. That's pretty cool, right? I actually became a really big fan of Mastriano when he fought the big bad wolf, Governor Wolf, against mask mandates and vaccine mandates. And we also had a half a dozen more people who are going to teach you how to make more money and have more freedom, including Dan, who's watching online right now. So go to 4mmw.com and register for the event, 4mmw.com and register. It's going to sell out fast. I think we have 45 seats left. Go to 4mmw.com. Let's take a commercial, and we'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Investor schooling. Those guys are everywhere.
Investor schooling? Those guys are everywhere.
Investor schooling?
Those guys are everywhere.
Investor Schooling. Those guys are everywhere. Register for a free class at investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. And of course, if you'd like more information on investor schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. Of course, I want to thank all your listeners on WWDB Radio 860 AM in Philadelphia. And if you're watching online, please hit that share button. I want to say hello to a couple other people online. I want to say hello to Carrie and Jill. I think that's everybody. If I missed you, my apologies. But don't forget to hit that like button. Hit that share button. Come on, everybody hit that share button. The share button is right underneath the video to the right. Click the share button and just click share on my timeline. That's all you need to do. It's very simple. So far, we've been discussing, of course, the futures update, and the Dow is on fire right now. Up 378 points, the S&P is up 54, and the NASDAQ is up 249. We talked about the fact that pretty soon you're going to see Hunter Biden pictures in Ukraine, paintings in Ukraine museums when they rebuild it, because Biden just sent them money. We talked about COVID coming back. We talked about, and of course, coming up, we have gas tax breaks, daylight savings, and cyber attacks. All right, don't forget, we also have the today's picks and plays. Make sure that you hit that share button, like I said, because you definitely got to share this information. Come on now, and let me know what you think of the show. All right, let's get into the second half. Let's talk about gas tax prices. So we've all been experiencing higher gas prices lately, and if you've seen it, you've seen posts on social media often have pictures of the highest prices people can find. You know, we've seen gas prices shoot up almost $1 in the past 2 weeks, And the liberals, I got to tell you, I find this absolutely amazing. The liberals, of course, are blaming Putin for the fact that the gas prices are going up. You know, it can't possibly be brain-dead Biden's fault, can it? The arguments I get into Facebook, I just can't believe it. It makes me laugh how dumb these liberals are. Anyway, several states are considering dropping the tax per gallon charge on gas, you know, so that you can, you know, help them make gas more affordable. So first you should know that there are two taxes that you pay per gallon when you fill up. The first is a federal tax and the other is a local state tax. So some others may also be charging a local county tax or a sales tax as well, but let's address the two biggest taxes on gasoline, the Fed and the state. Apparently, if you're living in Pennsylvania, currently it has the highest gas tax charge of any state, 58 cents per gallon. 58 cents, unbelievable. Followed by Rhode Island with 35 cents a gallon. Wow, that's a big spread. And if you add the federal gas tax of 18.3 cents per gallon, it's 71.3 cents per gallon of gas in Pennsylvania. That's just the tax. And that's not all. There's also sales tax as well, right? Now in Pennsylvania, this is amazing. In Pennsylvania, they don't charge sales tax by the purchase price. They actually add a calculation called excise tax of 50 cents a gallon. Other states like New York City charge sales tax on the regular rate. So in Pennsylvania, the total tax for a gallon of gas, the total tax is $1.21 per gallon. And the liberals think that gas prices are high because of Putin? Anyway, the federal government is proposing a cut in the tax till January next year, and several states are considering a cut until May, June, or July of this year, depending on the state. Ohio, who I actually like the idea, they're actually looking to suspend the tax for 5 years. And even New York City is doing something normal. They're considering a bill that caps the tax rate at 25 cents per gallon. All right, you guys ready for my prediction on this? You're never going to hear about this again. There's no way the government is going to give up their free money. It's too easy, and everyone needs gas to do just about anything. By the way, do you know what happens to this tax if you buy an electric vehicle? Got you thinking about that, didn't I? Well, I don't know if you know this, but in the new infrastructure bill, ready for this? A per mile travel tax is being added to your tax bill to cover the deficit. Yep, these Democrats never miss a trick. So next time you pull up to the pump, look over at the sticker on the pump. No, not the one that has brain dead Biden pointing and saying, I did that. Look at the tax sticker. Some pumps actually show you how much you're paying in taxes per gallon. And don't forget, in Pennsylvania, we're paying $1.21 a gallon, no matter how much the price of gas is. So imagine how much the price of gas was really when it was $2 a gallon. Amazing. Hey, let's talk about daylight savings. Apparently, the Democrats have finally come up with the only fully bipartisan bill ever created. It seems that we may never have to turn the clock back again if the Senate gets its way. I had to laugh at the name of the bill, though. It's just so funny. You know, they introduced this bill and they approved it by the Senate, and it's called the Sunshine Protection Act. Yep, the Sunshine Protection Act. I do have to say, whoever comes up with these names like Sunshine Protection Act, the Green Deal, and of course, Build Back Better, is an excellent wordsmith. I wonder if they can come to my business and, maybe be the marketing director for me. Sorry, Paul, you're fired. Anyway, the Sunshine Protection Act was passed unanimously, and if it passes completely, we will never have to turn the clock back again. I'm actually pretty excited about this idea, but I truly have to make fun of the senator named Patty Murray. Of course, she's a Democrat. Now, you have to listen to this, right? She was talking about the bill, and she said, let's get this bill on President Biden's desk and deliver more sunshine to Americans across the country. Does she really think the sun is going to shine more if the bill is passed? Oh, wait. Now I know who Kamala Harris was explaining the war to in the clip. And we thought Harris was just dumb. I'm definitely guessing this bill is going to become law, but my real question is, why did it take so long? Really? Let's talk real quick about cyber attacks. Hey, with the war in Europe, we're noticing more and more cyber attacks against Russia and Ukraine. But what about here and other countries? Look, if you recall last week, I discussed the fact that Ukraine was looking for volunteers to work on hacking the computers in Russia to help them with the war effort. And they asked anyone, anywhere on the planet who wanted to help to try organize themselves so they would have a solid direction to take down major parts of the infrastructure in Russia to help Ukraine stop them from invading, right? Makes sense. It's great, but it's not so great. We now essentially have armies of organized computer hackers that view the world as a video game, playing Let's Wreak Havoc across the world. To a hacker, it's just a game and a thrill to actually break into a system and make changes or shut down major systems. You know, like the electrical grid or maybe, voting systems. They will be more organized than ever and become cyber bullies in whole new ways. They will blackmail companies just like they've done in the past couple of years, right? And they will put you in the dark. So, what are you going to do about it? Well, frankly, I'm going to tell you right now, there's not much more than to be prepared for it and to expect to be inconvenienced by it. One thing you can do, of course, is change your passwords often. I'm still trying to not to use password as my password anymore, but I honestly can't remember any other one. So for now, I'm just going to keep using it. Oh, just kidding. I just realized I shouldn't tell you. Don't try to hack me with password as my password. It won't work. Well, at least maybe after a few minutes after the show, it'll stop working, but it won't work. It won't work. All right, but getting back to the hackers, I expect a major hack on the electrical and or internet grid to come in the near future. I'm telling you now, my suggestion has been and always has been and will be, make sure you have cash, yes, real cash, silver and or gold, and also be prepared with other things like food supply, water supply, just in case it lasts a few weeks. What's the worst that happens? You have some silver and cash lying around? Big deal. Of course, guns and ammo will also come in handy, and that's always fun to have too, so you can go shooting in the shooting range if you want. All this happens, don't come to my house, because if it happens and you didn't prepare, I'm not going to help you. It's every man, every woman, and every child for themselves at that point. Oh yeah, and when the lights come back on, make sure that you own real estate, because that's when the next price increase is going to come fast. You want to find out how to learn get all the great money hacks? I teach you. Why don't you pre-order my new book called Money Hacks? It's going to teach you how to save more money, make more money, pay less taxes, and I even discussed the scenario I just mentioned. So please pre-order Money Hacks wherever books are sold. Hey, we're going to take a break, and we will see you in a couple of seconds.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start. Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse, and of course, if you'd like more information on Investor Schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829. Hey, real quick, the futures are up 384, the S&P is up 55, and the NASDAQ is up 253. All right, Paul got a little worried. Don't worry, Paul. I can't find who made those things, so you're going to have to stay as manager. Sorry, you're going to have to come back. You're still marketing manager. Hey, we've been talking about some cool stuff today, and of course, we got today's picks and plays coming up. Make sure you hit that share button. Come on, Paul, hit that share button. You work here. Hit the share button. You're the marketing director. Share it everywhere. Hey, let everyone know what great plays are coming by sharing this information. And, of course, you could share on your page or groups. And you could also leave comments on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And if you listen on WWDB Radio, set one of your presets to this channel and listen every day at 7:30 for all you need to know about the politics behind the stock market. All right, So first of all, are we going to get 2 days, good days in a row? It sure looks that way. A headline came across my desk this morning saying that Russia and Ukraine are starting to make headway into talks, and Zelensky is pleased with some of the compromises. Look, honestly, I guess if he gets anything he wants, he's lucky. The Fed is going to raise interest rates today, and Wall Street has pretty much factored it in, so as long as there's no surprises, the market should rally again. Hey, if you've been paying attention, I've been telling you to buy the travel stocks, and yesterday and today, all the travel stocks are the top gainers. In this business, you need some patience, and you can't panic. I still have some plays I'm waiting on, but it's going to happen because I bought them a little early, but I feel better about them. I also told you the other day to buy Apple at 150, and if you did, you are really excited right now, especially if you bought options. And here's a play I got to tell you that I don't usually recommend, but if the S&P tops like 4310, I would buy some short-term puts on the SPY. This should pay off nicely as the money managers will pause, probably tomorrow, to take any profits before they lose their steak dinner. So watch for that pause. All right, come to our class on Thursday, and I'm going to teach you how to break down and pick the perfect stock options play. And go to Investor Schooling and RSVP for this class tomorrow. And yes, it's free for those who haven't been there before. Right now, of course, the futures are still up 375. The S&P is up 52.75, and the Nasdaq is up 24.75. Hey, don't forget also to register for our Freedom and Finances event. That's 4mmw.com, 4mmw.com. There you will see Doug Mastriano and a bunch of other great people talking about how to make more money and how to have more freedom. Let's get into the crypto scene and what's going on in the crypto scene. So right now, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptos look like they're benefiting from this rally, and they're all moving up. Bitcoin is above 40,000 again, and Ethereum, just to give you a quick, is right around 2687, which isn't bad, right? Gold and silver, as expected, are falling and they're moving down, and that's basically because when the stock market moves up, the gold and silver moves down, but it also means it's time to buy some. So the Treasury bond right now is a fraction of a point away from the 225. Watch this number, because when it hits this number, the Nasdaq's going to crash for the day, and when it does, buy Apple stock. I'm telling you right now, buy Apple stock if it does crash. All right, so real quick, from time to time, I own some of the assets and options discussed in this show, and the opinions discussed in this show is solely mine, and no one has asked me to discuss them. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, same time. Make it a profitable day.